So hello class, in this particular video I'll be explaining about linear and quadratic probing. Okay, so in our class that we have discussed about hashing. All right, hashing is with the help of the key, we will put the key in a particular hash table location. Okay, so as you can see, there are three functions doing that. Now in this particular program we will be showing how to do linear probing as well as quadratic. So two methods are being depicted. All right, so the first function that you see here out here is your basic hashing. Okay, hashing function, and we know that it is k mod m. Okay, now mod m here is depicted by this symbol, and here mod m is the remainder. Okay, you all know mod is remainder, so that remainder is taken out, and that is the index. That is where we are going to put the value key. So that is basic hashing. But sometimes we encounter collision and we have to resolve it. So if we are using linear probing, we have to use this formula. Okay, so key formula will slightly change. We will now introduce I, so it will be key plus 1. All right, so that is we do when we do linear probing, collision resolving with linear probing. So we alter the formula. If we are using quadratic, then the formula that we are going to use will be slightly different. Okay, here we need another term j. Okay, and that also j square because quadratic. So j into j. So we have to have the value of j. So you can see here along with the key, we are also passing the value of j. Okay, and then after that we get the index which will be returned. So these two methods are to find the solution for collision. Otherwise, if there's no collision, this is the basic hashing. Now let us see how in this program they are calling it. So here if you see, there are two particular arrays. Okay, so one is your basic array. All right, so this is your basic array in which you will put the values without doing any hashing, and then after we apply hashing, it will go to a proper array, and that will be given by hash. Okay, so that will be depending on the function we will put in the appropriate location. The key values will go to the appropriate location, and before we start off we have to put -1 to initialize. Okay, so that is being done here. Enter the size of the hash. So we have to mention the size and the number of elements that we are going to put, and then initializing to -1. This is the job of this loop. Okay, then enter elements. So first of all we enter this basic array. Okay, so we enter that. Now after that we have to choose that what method are we going to use to do the hashing. So we have a switch case here. All right, so case 1 is for linear probing, case 2 is for quadratic probing. Okay, let's understand case 1. Right, so in case 1 what is happening, the initialization is happening -1. This has already happened here, so it's again happening. It's not okay, not a problem. And then we start looking at the hash table. Okay, so from the first array we take out the first value, that is k is equal to 0. That is key, and then that key is picked up, applied the function is hash t k, that means k mod m. All right, so the remainder is found, and in the remainder we put the value. See this hash I, whatever is the remainder, we put the key value there. But we know that sometimes it is not equal to -1. So sometimes if we find the index and we find that hash I is not equal to 1, that means it is a collision. So in that case hash t will not do. We have to make use of these two methods. So because it is linear probing, rehash L is being called. So, and we know rehash L is this. All right, so here the formula is changed. Now it is key plus 1 and the new index is given out. Okay, so that index is where we put the key. Okay, not the basic one, but from the rehash one, the collision one. That is what we do in case of your linear probing. Okay, and then this is to display. After we filled up all the values, then we will be displaying. And the same thing happens if we choose for quadratic probing also, as long as okay we don't encounter -1. That means as long as we encounter -1, it is free, we can put the value using hash t, again the basic function. But the moment we see that it is not equal to -1, that means already the values are there, then this time because it is quadratic we call rehash q. That's the only thing different. Okay, we call different functions, and rehash q is a quadratic value where we need j. Okay, so that j is also passed, and this particular function is called j. Okay, so j is here, and j into j is being called. Okay, and j, you can see j is equal to -1. So this extra term we have to handle in case of quadratic probing. So I hope it is clear. Okay, case 1, case 2 is there, and then we display. Once it is filled up, then we display. And after every use of j, we also increment the value of j. Okay, so that is very simple program doing your linear and quadratic hashing. I hope it is clear. Okay, please try this program. Thank you, class.